What's going on, guys? It's your boy Slayer Stream TV. We're back again with another Ark Dev Kit tutorial video, and today we're going to be going over how to make a dodo that is unrideable, a rideable dino, so you can enjoy your time exploring Ark on a massive or small dodo. First things first, you're going to want to copy or create a child of your dodo. If you don't remember how to create a child, you right click, go to blueprint class. If your pick a parent class menu looks like this, just hit this down arrow to show the search bar, and you can just search. You can search for your dino. So we're going to search for dodo character BP. I can't type. Look for the dodo character BP, click it, and then you hit select. It creates a child of the dodo. And this can work on either the child or the actual copy of the dodo. Just keep in mind the copy of the dodo is basically your new parent class and won't get updated if wildcard ever updates the dodo specifically for any reasons. So keep that in mind. Now, second thing you want to do is come over here to the right hand side in the details panel, look for your skeletal mesh asset, and you want to find your skeletal mesh so you know it's going to be a dodo. Normally you'll start out with the regular dodo. You're just going to hit the folder with the magnifying glass to find where that dodo skeletal mesh, and you're going to make a copy of it. Okay, once you make a copy of it, you rename it, you go ahead and link it to your dino character blueprint, and you're done. Now there's a few settings within your dino blueprint that you're going to want to change, so pay close attention and make sure these are enabled or disabled so you can enjoy your dodo or your whatever dino that isn't rideable. Just enjoy it. So I'm going to show you these real quick. First, you're going to want to search for allow riding. So you want to enable allow riding because that's going to allow you to ride the dino once we get to that second part of this video. You're going to disable can mount on humans. This is the ability to pick up the dodo and just run with it in front of you. You can either disable or enable it. You can actually keep it enabled if you want to, because as long as allow riding is enabled, you can ride it or pick it up. You will just have to hold your E button or whatever the button is for console, and it will bring up the radio menu, so you can choose whether or not to pick it up or ride it. And if you want to ride it with no saddle, of course you want to enable rider don't require saddle. If you want to go through the process of creating a custom saddle for it, we can make another video for that. Just let me know in the comment and I'll show you what you will need to do to add a saddle to a dino that normally doesn't have a saddle. So what we've done is we've actually already increased the size of our dodo. So we've increased it by 5 on the scale to make it a little bit bigger. And if you increase the scale of your dino that is normally small to be big, make sure you search and change your half leg length and the full IK distance. Whatever default numbers are here for you, you're going to want to multiply them by the number in the new number in scale. We multiplied the default numbers by 5, and that's what we got for right here. And our capsule half height and capsule radius, we changed that based on what we wanted for the collision. That's going to be your personal preference based on the dino that you are using and whether or not you want it to collide. So, you know, it's a must have, but it's going to be based on the size of your dino and what dino it is. So it's all based on you. Now, once you got all that changed, you just compile, save it. Now, the rest of this video takes place in the skeletal mesh because this is where the magic happens for basically making a dino rideable. Most dinos have a rider socket. For your dodo specifically, I don't know about any other ones that are not rideable, doesn't come with a rider socket, so you have to add one. So I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do. So we specified that on the C backbone, this is where we wanted to put our rider socket. You can place the rider socket wherever you want. Very, very simple. I'm going to show you how I did it. Wherever the bone is basically where your rider socket's going to be. That means that's where the position of your character is going to be, and you can change that, you know, to whatever preference you want. There's going to be a lot of testing, trial and error type of thing. So you right click on the bone that you want your socket to be added. You're going to go to add socket. Your new socket's going to be added. You're going to right click the new socket and you're going to rename it, and you want it to be renamed to rider socket that you see right above this new one I just made. Now you want it to be the same cap, so you want to make sure the R in rider is capitalized, the S in socket's capitalized, and there's no spaces. It's the way that wildcard set it up. If you don't do it in that correct manner, it will not register as the rider socket. Now that we've created the rider socket, you need to turn it into a mesh socket. So once you left click on your rider socket so it's highlighted, right click it, and as you can see, you don't see it on my end because I've already turned it into a mesh socket. You're going to see create mesh socket. So if we actually remove mesh socket, it disables that, and there's nothing. You see that it's not highlighted, doesn't have the little mesh on the side. You right click it, create mesh socket, boom, now it's a mesh socket. Now what this allows us to do is we can now adjust the rider socket to our preference. We can move it forward, backwards, whatever we want. We can change the relative scale. We can change the rotation depending on the positioning of characters. So I already know that by default, the rider socket, when you ride your dino firsthand, it's going to be funky, it's going to look weird, and it's not going to look normal. So you're going to have to play with the rotation, you're going to have to play with the scale. Now, if you don't see this details menu anywhere in your skeletal mesh, it's more than likely because you're on the asset details. You want the actual details tab to pull up this menu whenever you click on your rider socket. Okay, this will show you everything you need, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to change all of these things, and I'll show you that all you have to do now is once you create your rider socket and it's a mesh socket, you just simply play around with it and get it to the scale, get it to the rotation that you want. You can make it funny, you can do so many things with it, but it's all controlled through that mesh socket. So now we're going to spawn in our tame dodo and show you that now we have a rideable dodo. As you can see, our butt is a little bit floating and we're super far forward on this dodo, right? But now we're riding. We got a riding dodo. So if you want to adjust it like you saw what I was doing a while ago, is if we can lower the socket, move it back, we're going to lower it a little bit more, and we're going to actually reduce the size. So what this relative scale does, it reduces the size of the player only when they're riding that dino. So the bigger the dino, you know, the bigger the change on your character. So you got to just trial and error in your testing map to see how it actually looks. So after we just adjusted the scale a little bit, we adjusted the positioning of the said character on the rider socket. We're going to check it out. Oh, see, now it looks a little bit better. Now, yeah, we're deep inside the freaking dodo, but you know what? With how Wildcard has created everything, it's trying to make it look perfect is almost impossible. And I say that only because the majority of writing sockets and writing everything for dinos in ASA and ASE, it's all custom animations based on the saddles, based on the rigging and everything like that. So something like this, making it to where the hand positioning looks like you're just riding on the back, your legs kind of actually look like they're underneath the wings of the dodo, and you're good to go. Now, you can also do some extra stuff once you get everything situated, and say your dino is a little bit bigger than what we have here and the camera angle doesn't look right. You can simply just go into your dino blueprint and search for cam, and you have two different options. You have the rider FPV camera offset, which is first person, and then you have the TPV camera offset, which is for third person. The third person camera view is the go-to view that every single writing animation type of thing for dinos happens. Not many, it's going to be a personal preference, but depending if you're trying to go for the perfect camera view for everybody to use for your dino, or if it's just specifically for you, TPV normally is the one that is getting messed with and changed for big dinos and small dinos. And you can also change the rider FPV, but normally it's the same concept as the character, where the character is, from my understanding, because if we go here, we ride and we go in first person, it's going where the rider socket is. So the camera is actually right behind the character and it's just going right where the rider socket is. So we have this view as a first person view, but you can adjust it to where the camera is actually above the player, to where it's above the dodo's head. So so it looks like you're actually the dodo. Like, there's a ton of ways to make it work. I hope this video helps. I hope all these little tidbits helps you create these amazing new dinos, especially the ones that are not rideable, to truly bring them to life in Ark the way we believe they should be, you know, because we have different minds than Wildcard and Wildcard has different minds than us. Besides that, guys, come join the Discord, come join the community. If you're a mod dev, just let me know in the general chat when you join the community Discord from the link below, and I'll give you the mod dev role for my specific community, and you can talk with me and other mod developers about your ideas, ask for help, and just hang out and chill with us. If you want, you can also just share your modding communities. You can share your mods that you've created for your communities and for your player base or for whoever through my Discord alone. We have specific channels for that. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to help this channel keep growing. We have been growing phenomenally, even though I've been away for a little bit due to work, but I plan on coming back strong and coming back working harder than ever, trying to grow this channel back again. I love you guys, and I appreciate all the love and support and all the prayers and good vibes you sent me and my wife's way for our pregnancy. We are due December 13th, and we are excited that we have passed the first trimester and entered the second trimester just recently. So please, please, please keep praying for us and keep just sending your good vibes our way. We love you guys, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.